Hello, here I am. Wizard of Oz. We started it at school. We read it frequently, and it's at a very exciting part in chapter 11. So if you're here, just say hello. Hi, Christina and Samuel are here. Yay. So I'm really excited to finish the book with us. And we'll move on to another book once we finish this one, because I have another book I would love to read to y'all. So I'm going to get started in just a couple of minutes. We'll see if anybody else hops on. Let's see if anybody else said they were coming on. I've never done this before. This is my absolutely first live video. So I don't know if it looks okay. I don't know if it sounds okay. I don't know anything about it. So we're just going to see how it goes. So if I need to turn down a volume or turn up a volume, just give me a comment and I will do my best to fix it. So wait just one more minute. I can't even tell who's on. Hello. How are y'all doing? I'm going to go ahead and get started in just a few more seconds. Okay, here we go. So we left off with each one of our friends going in to talk to Oz. And each time he tells them something different, and each time he is someone different. Okay. So I'm sure I probably sent y'all to the wrong link. So I'm trying this new thing. Okay, so each time they go, it is a different wizard, but it's the same wizard. Okay. So here we go. Now remember, he calls himself the Great and Terrible Oz. So here we go. We're going to pick up with the beast again, the lion, and then we'll finish the chapter. So here we go. I am Oz the Great and Terrible, spake the beast in a voice that was one great roar. Who are you, and why do you seek me? I am a woodman and made of tin, therefore I have no heart and I cannot love. I pray you give me a heart that I may be as other men are. So we'll go back to the woodman. Why should I do this? Demanded the beast. Because I ask it, and you alone can grant my request, answered the woodman. Oz gave a low growl this time, but said gruffly, if you indeed desire a heart, you must earn it. How? Asked the woodman. Help Dorothy to kill the Wicked Witch of the West, replied the beast. When the Wicked Witch is dead, come to me and I will give you the biggest and kindest and most loving heart in all the land of Oz. So the Tin Woodman was forced to return sorrowfully to his friends and tell them of the terrible beast he had seen. They all wondered greatly at the many forms the great wizard could take upon himself. And the lion said, if he is a beast, when I go to see him, I shall roar my loudest and so frighten him that he will grant all I ask. And if he is the lovely lady, I shall pretend to spring upon her and so compel her to do my bidding. And if he is the great head, he will be at my mercy, for I will roll this head all about the room until he promises to give us what we desire. So be of good cheer, my friends, for all will yet be well. Which is kind of curious because that sounds quite courageous, and we know that the lion is not courageous, right? Hey, James, I'm glad you're here. The next morning, The soldier with the green whiskers led the lion to the great throne room and bade him enter the presence of Oz. The lion at once passed through the door and, glancing around, saw, to his surprise, that before the throne was a ball of fire, so fierce and glowing he could scarcely bear to gaze upon it. His first thought was that Oz had by accident caught on fire and was burning up. But when he tried to go nearer, the heat was so intense that it singed his whiskers, and he crept back trembling to a spot near the door. Then a low, quiet voice came from the ball of fire, and these were the words it spoke. I am Oz, the great and terrible. Who are you, and why do you seek me? And the lion answered, I am a cowardly lion, afraid of everything. I come to you to beg you to give me courage so that in reality I may become the king of beasts, as men call me. And why should I give you courage? Demanded Oz. Because of all wizards, you are the greatest, and alone have power to grant my request, answered the lion. The ball of fire burned fiercely for a time, and the voice said, Bring me proof that the wicked witch is dead, and that moment I will give you courage. But so long as the witch lives, you must remain a coward. The lion was angry at this speech, but could say nothing in reply. And while he stood silently gazing at the ball of fire, it became so furiously hot that he turned tail and rushed from the room. He was glad to find his friends waiting for him and told them of his terrible interview with the wizard. What shall we do now? Asked Dorothy sadly. There is only one thing we can do, returned the lion, and that is to go to the land of the Winkies, seek out the wicked witch, and destroy her. But suppose we cannot, said the girl. Then I shall never have courage, declared the lion. And I shall never have brains, declared the scarecrow. And I shall never have a heart, spoke the Tin Woodman. And I shall never see Aunt Em and Uncle Henry, said Dorothy, beginning to cry. Be careful, cried the green girl. The tears will fall on your green silk gown and spot it. So Dorothy dried her eyes and said, I suppose we must try it, but I am sure I do not want to kill anybody, even to see Aunt Em again. I will go with you, but I'm too much of a coward to kill the witch, said the lion. I will go too, declared the scarecrow, but I shall not be of much help to you, for I am such a fool. I haven't the heart to harm even a witch, remarked the Tin Woodman. But if you go, I certainly shall go with you. Therefore it was decided to start upon their journey the next morning, and the woodman sharpened his axe on a green grindstone and had all his joints properly oiled. The scarecrow stuffed himself with fresh straw, and Dorothy put new paint on his eyes so that he might see better. The green girl, who was very kind to them, filled Dorothy's basket with good things to eat and fastened a little bell around Toto's neck with a green ribbon. They went to bed quite early and slept soundly until daylight, when they were awakened by the crowing of a green cock that lived in the backyard of the palace and the cackling of a hen that had just laid a green egg. And that's the end of chapter 11. So I could start chapter 12, or we could do chapter 12 another time. Would you like to leave a comment and let me know? Start chapter 12 or wait till another time? Does anybody have an idea? I don't know. We're going to Zoom tomorrow at 10 for math. So is today Thursday? I don't even know what today is. Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, April the 2nd. So I could possibly read again tomorrow. Start chapter 12. I'm sure they do want me to start. So tell you what, I'll read. Right now, I've just hit the 10-minute mark. So I will read for another 5 more minutes. Okay. And we'll see how far into chapter 12 we get. So here we go. Chapter 12, The Search for the Wicked Witch. The soldier with the green whiskers led them through the streets of the Emerald City until they reached the room where the guardian of the gates lived. This officer unlocked their spectacles. Do you remember what the spectacles were? The glasses? To put them back in the great box, and then he politely opened the gate for our friends. Which road leads to the Wicked Witch of the West? Asked Dorothy. There is no road, answered the guardian of the gates. No one ever wishes to go that way. How then are we to find her? Inquired the girl. That will be easy, replied the man. For when she knows you are in the country of the Winkies, she will find you and make you all her slaves. Oh dear. Perhaps not, said the Scarecrow, for we mean to destroy her. Oh, that is different, said the guardian of the gates. No one has ever destroyed her before, so I naturally thought she would make slaves of you as she has all the rest. But take care, for she is wicked and fierce and may not allow you to destroy her. Keep to the west where the sun sets, and you cannot fail to find her. They thanked him and bade him goodbye and turned toward the west, walking over fields of soft grass dotted here and there with daisies and buttercups. Dorothy still wore the pretty silk dress she had put on in the palace, but now to her surprise, she found it was no longer green, but pure white. The ribbon around Toto's neck had also lost its green color and was as white as Dorothy's dress. The Emerald City was soon left far behind. As they advanced, the ground became rougher and hillier, for there were no farms nor houses in this country of the West, and the ground was untilled. In the afternoon, the sun shone hot in their faces, for there were no trees to offer them shade, so that before night, Dorothy and Toto and the lion were tired, and lay down upon the grass and fell asleep, with the woodman and the Scarecrow keeping watch. Now the Wicked Witch of the West had but one eye, yet that was as powerful as a telescope and could see everywhere. So as she sat in the door of her castle, she happened to look around and saw Dorothy lying asleep with her friends all about her. They were a long distance off, but the Wicked Witch was angry to find them in her country. So she blew up a silver whistle that hung around her neck. I wonder who she's going to call. And at once there came running to her from all directions a great pack of wolves. They had long legs and fierce eyes and sharp teeth. Go to these people, said the witch, and tear them to pieces. Are you not going to make them your slaves? Asked the leader of the wolves. No, she answered. One is of 10, and one of is straw, and one is a girl, and another is a lion, and none of them is fit to work, so you may tear them into small pieces. Ooh, very well, said the wolf, and he dashed away at full speed, followed by the others. It was lucky the Scarecrow and the woodman were wide awake and heard the wolves coming. This is my fight, said the woodman, so get behind me, and I will meet them as they come. He seized his axe, which he had made very sharp, and as the leader of the wolves came on, the Tin Woodman swung his arm and chopped at the wolf. He immediately died. As soon as he could raise his axe, another wolf came, and another fell upon the sharp edge of the Tin Woodman's weapon. There were 40 wolves, and 40 times the Tin Woodman was able to kill the wolf, so that at last none were alive before the woodman. The woodman just saved their life. Then he put down his axe and he sat beside the Scarecrow, who said, It was a good fight, friend. They waited until Dorothy awoke the next morning. The little girl was quite frightened when she saw around her all the wolves. But the Tin Woodman told her all. But the Tin Woodman told her all about it. She thanked him for saving them and sat down to breakfast, after which she started again upon their journey. She slept through the whole thing. Remember when the wolves surrounded Pa and Ma and Mary and Laura and baby Carrie? There was no sleep in that night. Now this same morning the Wicked Witch came to the door of her castle and looked out with her one eye that could see far off. She saw all her wolves lying dead, and the strangers still traveling through her country, and this made her angrier than ever before.
No.
And she blew her silver whistle twice. Straightway a great flock of wild crows came flying toward her, enough to darken the entire sky, and the Wicked Witch said to the King Crow, "Fly at once and peck at the strangers until they can't see." The wild crows flew in one great flock toward Dorothy and her companions. And when the little girl saw them coming, she was afraid. But the Scarecrow said, "This is my battle, so lie down beside me, and you will not be harmed." So they all lay upon the ground, except the Scarecrow, and he stood up and he stretched out his arms, and when the crows saw him, they were frightened. And as the birds always are by scarecrows, did not dare come any nearer. But the King Crow said, "It is only a stuffed man. I can peck at him." The King Crow flew at the Scarecrow, who caught it by the head and stopped the crow until it died. And then another crow flew at him, and again the Scarecrow protected them. Until crow after crow, 40 crows, 40 times, the Scarecrow was able to fight off each of the crows. And then he called to his companions to rise, and again they went upon their journey. So the Tin Woodman was able to kill 40 wolves, and now the Scarecrow was able to kill 40 crows. When the Wicked Witch looked out again and saw all of her crows lying on the ground, she got into a terrible rage and blew 3 times again upon the silver whistle. Maybe we should stop right there. Should we stop there or go on? Wonder who she could be summoning this time to go attack the strangers in her land. Oh, let's keep going. I can't even wait. Forthwith, there was heard a great buzzing in the air, and a swarm of black bees came flying towards her. "Go to the strangers and sting them to death," commanded the witch. And the bees turned and flew rapidly until they came to where Dorothy and her friends were walking. But the Woodman had seen them coming, and the Scarecrow had decided what to do. "Take out my straw and scatter it over the little girl and the dog and the lion," he said to the Woodman, "and the beast cannot sting them." This the Woodman did, and as Dorothy lay close beside the lion and held Toto in her arms, the straw covered them entirely. The bees came and found no one but the Woodman to sting, and so they flew at him and broke off their stingers against his tin without hurting the Woodman at all. And all the bees cannot live without their stingers. So as their stingers broke off, that was the end of the black bees. And they lay scattered thick about the Woodman, like little heaps of fine coal. And we're going to stop right there. Woo! So they've defeated wolves, they've defeated crows, and they've defeated bees. Black wolves, black crows, and black bees. So the witch is wicked, and she is sending everything she can to defeat the strangers that are in her land. So I'm curious, will they get to her? What else will she send towards them? Will they get back home to Aunt Em? Will he get a heart? Will he get brains? Will he get courage? I don't know. Time will tell. It's been a great 20 minutes. Thanks for coming on with me. We'll try to do this again another time. Have a good evening. I will see you in the morning. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.